Good morning and welcome to the DFS YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at this pitching for today, the 24th of April. It's Wednesday. We do have a 7-game main slate this evening. From my understanding, no weather concerns, so we can just dig in to the pitching. As a reminder, this is a first look pitching video. Just kind of an overview as I come across some names. Uh, I generally get more in depth for the members at DFS Army as the day goes on. So we will take a look at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my play is. If you are on FanDuel, you generally can take my pitcher pool and some of the names that I mentioned even here and cut it in half just because we don't have to get too wide on FanDuel because we're allowed to spend up a little more at pitching because pricing isn't as tight as DraftKings, and obviously 2 pitcher site compared to a 1 pitcher site. But let us take a look at the options that we have. Right away, we're going to see Joe Ryan as a minus 192 favorite against the White Sox. Game total of 6.5. That is ridiculous. But yeah, we see that Ryan hasn't been ace-like in 3 of his 4 starts. But his 1 start was elite. Bounced back and had to face the same team right away again. Usually that's a huge advantage to an offense. I will be on Joe Ryan. People are going to be a little upset about how Pablo Lopez performed. Turns out that I think we're going to be hearing some injury for Pablo Lopez today, to be honest. So started out strong and then just fell apart. Joe Ryan's K-prop 6.5. Juice is pretty solidly on the over right now as well. So I think he's just a phenomenal play. Obviously, big price point. Might be a tougher slate to go all in on somebody like that at 10.4, but he's going to be right at the top for me on the slate. Bryce Miller has looked pretty strong each of his last 3 starts. Better than pretty strong, actually, but I wouldn't say he has the same kind of K upside that Joe Ryan does. K prop of just 4.5. He is a very slight underdog. Game total of 9. It's kind of tough, right? Like picking on Texas in Texas with a pitcher. Not something I really want to get accustomed to. But I do think Texas is struggling just enough overall that there's a route to Miller, being an SP1 type play on the slate. I don't think I want to go overly heavy, but I do think I need him in my pool. Reynaldo Lopez is throwing the ball really, really well. Ks have actually increased each start. Been pretty impressed. I do wonder if he starts to break down a little bit as the season goes on, but that's not something that we really need to worry about, given that this is just a 1 start sample size. He's a minus 238 favorite. K-prop of 4.5. Juice very strongly on the over. Miami just got shut down by Fried, who had struggled much of the year. Reynaldo Lopez is going to be pretty popular. I would guess that some sites are going to list him as an SP1 core play, given that he's 1,200 cheaper than Joe Ryan. Conceivably can offer a similar upside. I mean, I think Ryan's upside is greater if everything comes together. It is going to be cold in Minnesota, so that might be a benefit to him a little bit. Clark Schmidt, I believe, had the highest K-prop on the slate, so I'm certainly interested. So minus 218 favorite. I believe his K-prop was 7.5. Juice is on slightly on the under, but That is a very strong K prop for Clark Schmidt, especially considering he hasn't bypassed 7 in any of his 4 starts. And he's just gone 5 1/3, as he does throw quite a few pitches. Uh, I'm going to be all about Clark Schmidt as well. Like, people are probably annoyed that you just pick on the A's, pick on the White Sox, but that's where we have to take advantage. Just go those routes and try to focus on our bats. Minus 218 favorite. Not sure if I mentioned that. Uh, Walks do worry me a little bit, but I think he's really solid. I obviously wish he was a little cheaper because hasn't really shown a ton this year to make him, be an $8,900 play. Garrett Crochet, like I mentioned, this game total of just 6.5. He's coming off a couple really bad performances. Some things that I kind of would expect, um, given that he's been a relief pitcher, an injured one for a couple years, really. There's just a ton of upside in the matchup. I just don't know how he's going to respond every 5 days. I think he's in my initial lineup that I just reserved some contests with, but the more I think about it, the more I might slowly back off. Um, he'll be in my pool, but I just don't know that he's going to be like my main lineup. SP2, K prop of 6.5. We saw Eric Fetty just absolutely dominate the Twin squad with strikeouts yesterday. So there's plenty of upside for Crochet. John Gray's going to make my pool. K prop of 5.5. A minus 120 favorite. We know that Seattle can strike out. My one issue here is the fact that they used him for 2 innings, basically, of relief on the 20th. I don't know if that's going to mess with him or what. He is a veteran, so it shouldn't. He looked dominant, but that was in relief. Starting pitchers, coming in relief can just come in and let it go. Been really solid since the first start of the year. I think he's in play just because I just don't think that the overall Seattle lineup is extremely dangerous. Um, so I will be using John Gray, but it probably is going to be lightly. Um, I am definitely considering Yariel Rodriguez. Um, I just wish he would go deeper. Um, I mean, we should expect him to here. Uh, he's a minus 122 road favorite. K prop of 4.5. Uh, I definitely like the over in that. So if you're better, Yariel Rodriguez 4.5 strikeouts seems really great to attack. He did increase the second start by 15 pitches, which is generally the number teams look to use as an increase. Um, the issue is he does throw a lot of pitches. Um, so maybe he's probably capped at 5 innings right now. Unless things do come together, maybe 6 innings based on his style. Big price jump, not really a bargain option for us. Um, I'm I'm impressed by his stuff. Uh, I just wish we had the ability to go 6 to 7 innings at this point. Making his third start at the major league level, but we don't really get that option. I'm not really considering anybody down here. Ellie's first look. Sixto Sanchez, the one's big time prospect. Not really against Atlanta. And he's been thrown out of the bullpen, so like what is he gonna do? Get us 3, 4 innings? I'll pass. Jameson Taillon is somewhat interesting. Was decent in his season debut at the major league level. I believe the weather in Chicago is strongly geared towards pitching. Let me take a look. Yeah, it's going to be in the very low 40s with winds blowing in from right field. Um, so a little opposite of yesterday. So maybe Taillon is an option. Um, Houston's offense, just Houston in general, hasn't been spectacular of late, so I might have to include Tyon kind of as a GPP dart play. Um, it's not that I feel great about it by any means, but I think the spot kind of calls for it a little bit. If he does end up making my pool, he's probably going to be the lowest owned guy that I'm going to go with. So there we have it. There's the first look at pitching on the slate today. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, optimizer, Discord, etc., I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.